This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make it with Squarespace. So this is a pretty exciting purchase. Alright, what is going on, everyone? Welcome to a new YouTube video. Today's video is not any video, it is actually a farewell to my 1DX. I actually just sold it yesterday. I'm still going to be using the Canon EOS R for all of my YouTube stuff on this channel. But as far as photography goes, this is a very exciting day. I just decided to purchase a new camera. It is a Fuji camera, as you guys can see. Fuji is making incredible cameras right now, and I got the chance to test a couple of them a couple weeks ago. The one that really stuck out to me though is this GFX 100. This is a 100 megapixel, 102 megapixel actually, medium format mirrorless camera. And ever since I started shooting with it, I was just so impressed with how the body design was and the functionality, and obviously the incredible image quality that comes out of this. So I picked up the GFX 100, a 45mm lens, as well as a tilt Evf adapter, so you can kind of tilt the EVF and look down, or like a waist level viewfinder on like a RZ67, or you can look straight on as well. You can move the EVF, which I think is really cool. But needless to say, I don't really want to wait much longer. I've been dying to open this up. I really want to make a YouTube video though and kind of show you guys my first impressions and kind of talk about like why I decided to go the medium format digital route. So let's unbox this. Okay, so everything is unboxed now. As you can see, we have the GFX body right here. I also purchased the 45mm f2.8 lens, which on this medium format body is about a 35 to 37mm lens. Super excited. This was my favorite lens when I rented this camera a couple weeks ago. It's pretty wide, which is really nice, and I'm going to also buy the 110mm lens probably in the coming weeks. I just figured for now one lens is totally fine. But we also have here the EVF and also the Evf Tilt Adapter. Super excited about this because it's going to allow me to actually slide this on here and then also adjust the EVF accordingly, which is pretty rad. So let's cut to some shots of putting all this together, and then we'll give you some thoughts. Well, here it is, the Fuji GFX 100. As I said before, this is a 102 megapixel medium format mirrorless camera. I'm beyond excited. I think my entire photography career I've wanted to be able to afford a medium format camera. And if you guys are familiar with that at all, things like phase ones are so expensive, you know, upwards of $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 for a kit. And this is a lot more reasonable in that price point for what you get, which is an incredible sensor. The images that I was able to take last week, as I'll show a couple right here for you guys, are incredible. The detail is just out of this world. It looks so real life, and I really have honestly become pretty obsessed with Fuji colors and just overall their build design, the quality, the ergonomics. It all feels really, really good. A lot of my friends are also switching over to Fuji cameras as well. They're just making great stuff right now, and honestly, a lot of the other camera manufacturers are really lagging behind, and Fuji really is kind of paving the way forward with cameras like this. It's just so incredible. so many features packed into such a small body. Obviously, this is not a review by any means, but I am just so excited to have this camera. I wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to be testing it over the next couple months, and I really want to give you guys my full review. I want to mention as well, I paid every single dollar for this camera. Nobody sent this to me. Nobody's giving this camera to me for free. I use my hard-earned dollars to buy this camera, and I do realize how expensive it is. You know, if you go online and look at these, they're quite expensive, especially when you add on all the lenses and everything. And I fully realize that, but I think now I'm at the point in my career where I really want to be shooting a lot more high-end advertising work and just, you know, billboard campaigns. Everything in that realm is shot on a medium format camera, and so I figured I might as well just start shooting and getting that look to all of my images, because that's where I want to be in a couple years. So kind of just speaking it into existence, and I figured this is kind of the first step in going that general direction. That being said though, I still have a lot to learn, and I'm really excited to kind of just mess around with this camera and see what I can get with it. You know, it's not a typical 35mm or full frame SLR camera. It's completely different than all that, but at the same time, it feels so good in the hands, and the images are just so incredible that I've already been able to get when I rented this camera. So needless to say, I'm just excited. I want to make a video for you guys, just sharing my excitement, and hopefully you guys are excited as well to see some videos about this camera in the near future. So as I said as well, I am pretty much switching over to Fuji entirely for all of my photography needs. I do have the Canon EOS R still, which I'm going to be using a lot for this YouTube channel, just because I think that camera is great for video. I'm not going to be using this really for video at all. I don't really think a medium format camera is really made for video, even though this camera does shoot 4K 30. It's just not really something that I'm going to be using it for personally. I'm going to be using this on a very selective basis, and this is going to be when I have an entire shoot planned out with, you know, models and probably hairstylists, makeup artists, hopefully some sort of producer as well. This is much more of like the high-end camera that I bring out when everything is kind of organized and ready to go as far as a shoot goes. I'm not just going to bring this every single place that I go, because it's not meant for that. You know, this is a very special camera that I'm super excited to add to my arsenal, but it's not going to be, you know, a DSLR type camera. This is going to just be for bigger shoots, but needless to say, so excited. I know this was a short one, guys, but thank you so much as always for watching. Hope you guys are excited to see some videos about this camera in the near future. Actually heading to Seattle for the next week up for Thanksgiving, and I'm going to be bringing this camera because I have some shoots planned out that I really want to kind of test this camera with. So stay tuned for all of those images. If you guys want to check out any of the images that I already have shot with this camera, definitely go check out my Instagram. That's where I'm going to be posting the majority of these photos, as well as over on my website is where a lot of the brand and commercial work that I do is over on samuelelkins.co. So thanks so much for watching as always, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this quick little tidbit. I'm excited to go test this thing out. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks again to our sponsor, which is Squarespace, for sponsoring today's video. If you are looking to create a custom website from scratch without all the coding and hassles that come with it, Squarespace is by far the best choice out there to make a beautiful website. They have easy to use templates which make creating a beautiful theme that much easier, 24/7 customer support for all of your questions, and tons of customizable options to really make your website stand out. If you're interested in trying out Squarespace for yourself, go to squarespace.com/SamuelElkins, which is in the description, to get 10% off your first website or domain purchase.